Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers. Welcome to part 2 of the needle felted Scarecrow, and he's standing there all happy watching what I'm going to be up to for the next hour or so. And if you've joined us last week, then you would have got as far as this with a wibbly wobbly head and a body that looks a little bit thin, so we need to give him a bit of bulk in there today. And we're also going to make his legs, so he's basically almost finished, bar the hair and some of the decorations, and the little mices that are coming too. They're all poking their heads out of this top there. I can't wait for that. But that is going to happen in part 3. So one step at a time. Today you're here to watch part 2. And as always during our live stream, we've got Emma here in my ear. She's gonna hopefully help me along if I get stuck. If you've got any comments and you wanted to reach me directly, then do pop it into the comments box here. If you don't know how to comment on YouTube, you have to be signed into Google and the YouTube channel. So and then you should be able. You can watch it without signing in, but you to comment you do need to be signed in. It's free, so you don't have to do anything there. We don't make you watch adverts or anything like this, but we do ask you to subscribe to our channel. That would be amazing. And also do give us the thumbs up while you're watching, so we get lots of likes if you like. And we've got a few people here already, and I'm going to tell you what the competition prize is today and what you need to do to get it. Right, here we go. So you are going to win yourself, hopefully, with a bit of luck, a large peacock butterfly wool painting pack. Some of you might have had this before because it was one of our subscription boxes. I think it might have been last year or maybe even the year before. I can't remember actually anymore. And all we want you to tell us is, what is your funniest Scarecrow name? Now, the emphasis is on funniest. I very often, like today, I do need cheering up. So please give us the funniest Scarecrow name that you can think of. I simply cannot wait to read the funny names, and you will get in exchange. It's here somewhere. I saw it. Ah, there it is. It's a big pack filled with lots of fluffy wool, which you can barely see, but it's just there in the background. And you also get a big piece of fabric in there that you can color in even more brighter and colorful than it already is. With the wool that you get in there, there's the full set of instructions, no tools, but no doubt you've got them all. And of course, this competition is only possible because you're watching it today during the live stream. Or somebody please tell me what day it is today. The trouble is I'm meant to be on holiday, so I've lost track altogether. Where are we? Oh, I know, it's the 24th of August. Haha, good job. I've got a calendar right over there. It's the 24th of August, and you're watching this live at 1 p.m. on YouTube. If you're watching this live on Thursday, the 26th of August, on Facebook at 7 p.m., then you can also have another chance to win the butterfly pack. Just watch it basically. Again, and comment on Facebook as we're streaming this, restreaming the live stream, if that makes sense. And then Hannah will be there to support you throughout. Right, so if just to remind and rewind a little bit, this is what we did last time. We opened the Scarecrow box. You can still get this, by the way. It's got everything in there to make the Scarecrow, bar the tools. There was lots of wool in there, and there still is, because we haven't finished yet. But this is all the wool this is all the wool I've got left still from the head. So there's loads left. Could have made a much bigger head. This we still need because we're going to stuff the Scarecrow today. So I'm going to keep that out. And then we need that lovely green wool here for the legs. And we certainly need the second wire, which I'm going to take out as well. We have used the orange for the nose, so that is left over. We can leave that in there. And we need the brown for the shoes. So I'm going to take that out as well. So I have got 3 items left in here. The small straw hat, I've got some wool for hair, and I've got the wool for the scarf, which is all going to be used next time. I'm going to put my leftover stuff in there as well. Remember, you can get your boxes still. And of course, the tutorials stay on YouTube, so you should be able to make these anytime. If the boxes aren't for sale anytime in the future, then we always have a list of ingredients on the actual YouTube tutorial, and it will give you a full list of what you need to make your own scarecrow. But you can of course also use your own stash, as I've seen a beautiful picture of Emma's mum's scarecrow, and she's used a tweed fabric to make the top of the scarecrow. So it doesn't have to be a Hessian. You can use your own materials, maybe use the whole kit as a stash buster and get through some of the wools that you've got sitting around, especially because we're stuffing it with wool that you don't necessarily need to see on the outside. So you might have something that can be used with us. We always love it when you buy from us, but we don't force you to do so. There is a lot we do for you for free. And yes, I've got lots to say, but maybe let's go back to the scarecrow first. Right. I'm strictly following the instructions, as I have definitely got a tendency to divert from it. So we've got as far as the bottom of page 3, and we're turning over to page 4, where we're starting on the legs. And I'm going to go to the overhead camera now. I've got my wire ready, I've got my green wool ready, all ready to roll to make the legs. Right, let's see what's happening here. So take your second length of the flexible steel wire, which I have done, and a strand of green variegated bats, which is this. Now, just as a tip, even though this is a wool bat and the fibers are sort of crisscrossed, you will see a natural running of the fibers. So I can see that they're running that way, so not lengthways, but they're running sideways. So to get a strand of the wool, it's best to take it off in that direction, and then you get a nice solid strand, and you can tease it out and make it longer by just giving it sort of a little tug, even, whatever, on its there's a bit of VG in there, not VG, VM in there. VG, I don't know what that is. Hopefully nothing rude, but I meant to say VM, and that stands for vegetable matter. So it just shows that our not our sheep, but the sheep where that wool has come from, have been running happily in the grass and in the hay and wherever. Right, so starting about 3 centimeters from the wire. Now, if you don't know what 3 centimeters are, you work in inches, you still haven't got a clue, then do use our instructions. 3 centimeters, you will know that's just over an inch. And you leave that exposed, and the rest of it you're going to wrap with the wool. Now, what's really bothering me right now is that the camera is wonky, so I'm going to have to adjust that. So just excuse the slight wibbling and wobbling here, but I really hate it when it's not straight. That is as straight as it might become. Otherwise, I'll be spending the next hour just doing that. That's a bit better. Right, so you're going to start wrapping the wool around the wire, leaving about 3 centimeters exposed, which is this bit here. And notice how I'm wrapping the wool flat like a ribbon. Try and get it nice and tight. Now, what I'm using is our flexible steel wire, which has got a slight sort of almost like a serrated surface. It doesn't cut you or anything, but it actually tickles when you run your fingers across it. It looks like 2 wires have been twisted around each other and then fused together, and that makes it really good for wrapping wool around it, because the wool gets a grip into the wire. And then I'm going up that wire. Work your way up towards the middle until you reach about 2 centimeters from the end of the wire. Keep the wool flat like a ribbon. So I'm working my way up. Now, if you get to the end of the wool, make sure that you get you sort of tidy it away neatly so that it doesn't unwind itself. And I just go round and round and round until there's to the very last fiber, and then it's just secure there. And then I'm taking more of the wool to continue wrapping around it. Now, the middle way part, because the wire is 45 centimeters long, it'll be sort of between 22 and 23. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little bend in there now. So I know this is the middle, but we also need to leave a bit in the middle exposed. So we're wrapping from the end of the wire up 20 centimeters. So maybe I make a bend there, actually. Right. That's how far I'm going. From the end to here is 20 centimeters, and that's how much I need to cover with my green wool. Now, the first scarecrow that I made had sort of quite thin legs. You have enough wool there to make the legs a little bit more sturdy. So Don't be too shy to use the wool. If you want to make it exactly one leg exactly the same as the other, split your wool in half before you even start, and that way you will know that you're definitely using the same amount from on one and then you use on the other leg. I'm going a bit more generous now, building my way up towards the thighs, and you keep doing that, keep going up, and then you when it gets sort of quite bulky and the wool slips off sideways, then you're going to take your felting needle and you're going to start felting the wool down as you're wrapping it, and that will also firm it up and shrink it again, because that's what needle felting does. It shrinks the shape down, and therefore you will have to add a little bit more. Just pulling my earth-friendly felting mat out to do this. There we go. And I am using a coarse felting needle. So whether you use one from our kits, or whether you use a coarse twisted, or a coarse standard felting needle, or maybe even a cross-star felting needle, any of it will work. And this one isn't, because it's too it was a medium one. Right, this one's better. This is the standard felting needles that we do. They're the ones that we sell on our shop. Most of them, I'd say 99% of them, come from the German manufacturer called Beckett, which they really do produce superior needles, and that's where we get our needles from within Europe. I'm not saying they're the only people who do great needles, but it's certainly the closest to where we are based to have the least mileage and carbon footprint before they end up in our shop. Right, I will also just tell you, when you're felting this down, be mindful that you've got a wire inside. So try and go in through the wool missing the wire, and if you can't always avoid missing it, make sure you don't stab very vigorously, because you may have to sort of just literally back off quickly before you hit the wire. If you do hit the wire full on, the likelihood is that you will bend your needle, and if you don't break it already straight away. And once that happens, there's not much you can do. You can't unbend the needle because it's a steel needle and there's very little flexibility in it. So I've wrapped the leg quite softly. If you want to avoid having to do lots of stabbing, you can wrap your legs a lot tighter, as I haven't done that. But you can still put that right. If you now want to give it a tighter wrap, you can, because you can squish the wool underneath it. Mind that you don't poke your eyes out while you're doing this, because you've got a wire still flicking around at the other end. But now I'm giving it a nice tight wrap. I do want I don't want to do so much felting, so I'm squeezing the air out of the wool as I'm wrapping the wool around it. And you can see that that's sort of quite making a difference in terms of the thickness of the leg. Felt that down, and then I'm going to build up a little bit more at the top. Then I'm going to work on the other side, and if I've got any wool left over, I might put it on one or the other leg, depending which one needs building up a little bit more. If you have got a multi-tool, then you can use this. Again, you just have to be mindful that you could potentially stab straight into the wire, so try and stay to one or the other side. It's actually haven't hit the wire yet. And just add a little bit more on that thigh. And once I've done that leg, I'm going to have a little read what funny scarecrow names people have come up with, because I do yes, I do need a little bit of cheering up. I've had a fall again this morning. I'm very good at falling at the moment. I think I said to Emma the other day, do you think I'm getting clumsy in old age? I hate saying that, really, because I don't really believe it. She said, no, it's because you always run everywhere. And that is actually true. I never move slowly. I'm always a fast mover. And when we recently had our summer weekend away, go wild with the makers here at the Wilderness, I remember I had to keep running back to the workshop here at the Wilderness, where I'm sitting right now, to bring out fibers and wool that I knew I had, and we hadn't brought from our headquarters. And it was a cross the tent village, which is on a slight slope. Well, not the tents aren't on the slope, but you have to get through it and run up a hill. And I literally, well, you don't have to run, but I did. I think I did about 10 or 12 hill sprints that morning, which yeah, was quite funny. Anyway, here we go. There's one leg so far wrapped, and I'm going to have a little read now how everybody's doing. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. I've also got sort of stuck to where I need it to be, so I've got that little bit extra in the middle, and then I need to wrap that leg with a green wool after. So let's have a read. Who's here? Oh, I haven't done that yet. Let's start at the top. Right. So we have got here in the house today Rachel with Daniel. Hello both. Vampire Venom. Diana Oldacre. Good morning, says Diana. Is there a time difference on the Isle of Mull? Are you actually literally behind? Nah. Or have you been waiting a long time? Maybe we'll cross the time zone going up to the north of Scotland. Who knows? She said with tongue in cheek. Serena is there. Hello, Serena. Catherine and Jan. Hello, both. Lorna and Ashley. Hello. Diana says, I say morning because I haven't had lunch yet. Oh, okay, right. Okay, you're forgiven. Donna is there. Hello, Donna, also from Scotland. Maria is, of course, Emma's mum. She's there. And she's looking forward to it. Joe is there. Meg is there. Carol is there. And Alicia. Hello, Alicia. I only messaged you earlier because it's been such a silence between us. Only because we've both been busy, no doubt. Helen is there. Hello, Helen. You're one of our weekend retreaters, so I'm delighted to have you here. But she's been a long time watcher too, so the full circle has been reached. Dawn is there. Hello. Erica, all the way from the Netherlands. And Rose is there. Alison, I'm really sorry if I don't know where you all are, but I remember some of yours location. Okay, here we go. Ashley says, Scarecrow name Mr. Haystack. And Marion says, hi, my Scarecrow name would be Scaredy Cat because I love cats and he frightens the birds as well. Oh, nice one. Julie is there. Bridget is there all the way from Australia. So sorry, keep going on about this. Catherine says, my Scarecrow name would be Russell Scarecrow. Russell Scarecrow. Oh, you see, this is the trouble. I don't always get funny names. Russell Scarecrow. I'm sure it's some famous person. I just don't know who the heck it is. Alicia says, my Scarecrow name will be Frank. It's just right. And Alicia gets it, what Catherine is all about. Come on, Emma, release me from the pain of ignorance. Joe says, Scarecrow, Mr. Fluffo Fluff. Erica says, oh, I see. So there is actually an actor called Russell Crowe. I'm such a numpty, honestly. Oh dear. I won't tell you the story now, or should I? Or I don't know. Anyway, when I was much younger, that's my excuse. Anyway, I went to see this Texan guy. No offense, Alicia, no offense, but he was a real boasting guy. He just boasted about all these things that he'd done in his life, and he'd been married 13 times, and everything was bigger and better. And then one day he said, well, this all happened in an hour. He said, you see this watch? You're like, yeah, nice watch. I really couldn't tell what watch it was. It could have been one of those plastic ones out of a machine. And he said, my friend Bill Gates gave me that. And I thought to myself, I said, who the heck is Bill Gates? And I said to him, oh, nice. Yes. I've no idea who Bill Gates is, but I'm sure he's a good friend. I went back to the office. This was even a business meeting I had. Oh dear. I feel embarrassed just thinking about it. And I went back and I said, anybody know who Bill Gates is? If you're watching Bill Gates, please forgive me. I do know now who you are. Anyway, but only because everybody thought I was completely stupid. There you go. You see, Russell Crowe is not the worst thing that I've done. Right. Who else have we got? Oh, and Erica says, my Scarecrow's name will be Chucky. And Alison says, Jingle Jungle Scarecrow because my grandson loves the song. Oh, nice. Caroline says, my Scarecrow's name would be Straw Hat Frosty Ears. Oh, Oh, it's so funny. My scarecrow name is Edgar Allan Crow. Oh, I get that one, Edgar Allan Poe. I love crime fiction, so I get that one. Carol says my scarecrow's name is Scruffy Chops, and Lorna says reminds me of TV series I saw as a child. So my scarecrow after that program, Wurzel Gummidge. Oh, um, I could call him Ostif, outstanding in his field. Oh dear, vampire venom. Dr. Jonathan Crane is a good scarecrow name too. Hey, you see, this is the problem now. I don't know what that means again. I don't know Dr. Jonathan Crane. I'm very, very sorry. I don't know who the Prime Minister is, but that's about it. Donna Sutherland says, sorry, I mentioned your surname there. My scarecrow's name would be Warts, which is straw backwards. Ah, clever one. I like that. Helen says, my scarecrow is a bit girly, so I'm calling her Marilyn. Nice one. C. Choi says, mine would be called Hey Man. I like that too. Diana says, I still think the best scarecrow name is Wurzel Gummidge, but that's not very original, so I'll call my Scary Sam. Oh. Okay, so Emma's just telling me Dr. Jonathan Crane is the villain in a Scarecrow film. Okay, my Scarecrow's name is Wheatcroft. Very good. My Scarecrow name is Not So Scarecrow. Mine is not such a mine would be called that, Not So Scarecrow. Dawn says my Scarecrow would be called Ostif Outstanding in his field. Oh, I've already read that. Unless two people have said that. Oh, Diane's granddaughter is naming the scarecrow Strawberry. We're at a fun park today, but managed a sneaky peek to the live chat. Oh, that's amazing. Alicia says Texans never post. Oh dear. I've got another Texan story. This is a different person. So I used to work in the shipping industry, and this was in the days when mobile phones were about the size of a suitcase, and they weighed a ton. And we used to take these mobile phones onto ships so that people could call home from there. And I worked with this Texan guy, and he was sitting in his office, and he was always, every time I walked in there, and he asked me something because I was still in Germany, and I told him something about Germany. He says, oh, in Texas it's bigger and better. Oh, we have this is about 5 times as big. Oh, we have this is this. And then one day he came in and he had this quite snazzy at the time mobile phone, which was the size of a brick. And I just said, what? That's pathetic. Our phone is so much bigger and better. He didn't think that was very funny because small was actually good on this occasion. So anyway, right, let's move on with the scarecrow because I'm getting carried away here. Here we have one leg done. Let's do the other leg in exactly the same way. So obviously winding the wool around, keeping 3 centimeters exposed at the end. And I'm trying to do this a little bit faster now so that we got carried away with scarecrows and Texan stories. Oh, they do crack me up, I will be honest. Yes, one day I will go to Texas and see for myself that everything's better and bigger. There we go. Right. And next layer. So yes, so I mentioned that I've had all good intentions. I really have had all good intentions to take a week off, and what the treat for me is to take time out is that I can actually just say I only work until 2 today, and then the rest I'm going to be doing something that isn't work related. So that's been a little bit the case like that, and but then I also, I don't know, it's really hard to explain it. I know that you should just be able to go on holiday, but there's just so much that's piling up, and I know people are waiting for information from my end. And so I have an admission to make. I did get up really early this morning, and I thought, okay, I can get it in before anybody notices that I'm even working. So I had a couple of hours before the office opened, and I am a morning person, so I work quite well in the morning anyway. So I'm wrapping this leg a lot tighter than I have done the first one. So I'm not having to needle felt it down just yet, and I am going to, this might be a little bit of a one fat, one skinny leg scarecrow. Try and get as much bulk on that leg as on the other one. It's definitely a little not quite even here. So let's just do the best that we can and wrap the wool around it. Be fine, even if one leg is a little bit on the skinnier side than the other one. There you go. Well, it's just gone a little bit spilled over the middle, but I'm just going to felt the wispy ends down now and secure the fibers and see what happens next. So the reason why we've left the end wire unwrapped is because we've got to add the shoes into there. And it doesn't matter if here at the top, if one bit of the wool spills over a little bit into the center in comparison to the other, because that part is going to be hidden away anyway inside the scarecrow. So if it bothers you because you need everything to be exactly the right from on one side to the other, then by all means take a little bit off the other leg if that has happened to you. I don't really want to do that because I've felted it down now, but it'd be fine. So let's just get this felted in enough. And what I'm going to do next is attaching the legs. So attaching the legs, twist the middle of the leg wire around the green wire stem a couple of times. So this is obviously once your scarecrow has got his top on, you're now going to use the leg wire and you twist it around. Make sure that you are in the middle and you twist it around the main wire a couple of times. So that was once and twice. Making sure that the legs are the same length there. And then you can push this, because at the moment it's dangling down here. Then you can push this, then slip the legs up the green stem into the Hessian top about 8 centimeters inside. So again, use your, so it's here now at the moment. I can just about feel it here. So measure from the top, from the bottom of the tunic to the top. I do this here on my mat. That's not quite there, so a little bit more in. So the legs are almost going up, all the way up there. So whatever is poking out will be your legs, obviously, that are visible, and the rest of it is inside the wire. And now what you're going to do is, because you don't want the legs to wibble up and down and slip up and down, we're actually going to start stuffing the tunic so that the leg wire won't move anymore. So the green wire stem that is sticking out will form a tripod that will enable your scarecrow to stand. So don't be tempted to trim it off. So this bit here, this wire, the green wire that you started out with, that your head's attached to, is meant to be there, because once you've got the legs on the scarecrow, it will act as a third leg, if you like, and it makes the scarecrow stand. So we don't want to do anything with that. We want that to be exactly that size. Now you use some of the beige characterful. That's the one that you used for making his straw hands and wrapping his arms. And you start stuffing the tunic basically. And what we're doing is make sure that green wire. So by now you've got to decide what is the front and what's the back. Turn your head. Make sure that the wire is at the back from where you're stuffing. So don't have it here at the front. Have it at the back. And stuff some wool inside him. Remember that the seams are felted together, so whilst they should be solid, they're probably not. They won't withstand you going hell for leather into there, stuffing him like he's a chicken having sage stuffing rammed into it. Oh God, that's terrible language, but you know what I mean. Just be gentle. Don't stuff him too much. And because I actually say you can add a little more wool into the arms by gently pushing the wool along with a pencil. So if the arms are a little bit soft still, then take a pencil and just maneuver that so that you can stuff it along the arm. That is only if the arms aren't quite fully stuffed yet. Do that on the other side as well. So I'm just stuffing a little bit of wool by going from the body, but I can also see that the seam's about to burst. So don't do this. Again, don't do it too much. And then stuff a little bit more wool in there. As you stuff, ensure that the green stem is positioned behind the stuffing near the back of the tunic, and also that the legs have not slipped down. You will have to felt into the stuffing wool when it comes near the bottom of the body. Do this. To do this, fold up the open 1 centimeter end of the tunic and felt into the stuffing and on top of the legs. So when you also obviously stuff him here at the back. Again, make sure that the wire is away from the body. And when you get to a point that he doesn't want to turn his head that way, then you just turn the tunic up a little bit, like that. Add a bit more stuffing. And all you're going to do now is you're going to start felting it onto the green legs that are so far up that you can't but not stab into them. So use your coarse felting needle, stab the stuffing into the green legs, and do this at the back as well. You can stab it in itself, and you can also stab it into the green legs. Remember, there's wire inside, so that the stuffing isn't hanging out. And we're joining the two things now together so that the legs can't slide down that wire anymore, and the stuffing is also getting hidden by stabbing it into the legs. So that's just to secure the stuffing and make it stay inside there. And then obviously you fold that down again, and then it should all be sort of hidden away. And because I've got a little tear here under the arms, I'm just going to needle felt a little bit of wool over the top. I've definitely stuffed that side more than this side. So let's join that back together. Because he's a scarecrow, I think it's okay to for him to look sort of slightly scruffy. If any of this really bothered you, then you could have sewn this together, or even use a different fabric if you want him to be a very smart looking scarecrow with no broken seams and bits coming off. Then you could obviously sew this, but I haven't used needle and thread on him at all. It's all needle felted, so I've fused the seams together by felting them together. Right, so if the head keeps wobbling around like mine does, don't worry, we will do something about this in a minute, but just make sure that you have got the wire here at the back. So it needs to be right coming from his back. And if his head flops round, then you have to make sure that you notice that, because you really don't want that wire coming out at the front, because it's going to be hard to hide it away when you're positioning him standing up. So make sure the head stays forward and the wire stays at the back. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use some of that cream wool, which I've actually put away, but I'm going to get a little bit out. The cream wool that you've used to make his head, take a little bit, just a little pinch, and then wrap this around his neck to give him a neck, but also this is now where we're going to secure the head. So wrap this around his neck. I know the head's still swiveling around, but that's fine as long as it ends up at the front again. There. And then all you're going to do is, whilst the head is facing in the right direction, going to stab that down into the head. So I'm going at an angle from the neck up into the head, but I'm also stabbing it into the tunic. So it's the middle bit that joins the tunic and the head together. So I'm securing it like that. Now the neck itself will be covered with a scarf later. So if it looks a little bit prominent, don't worry too much about it, because we are going to completely hide that neck away with the scarf that the Scarecrow will be wearing later. Just literally stab the neck, parts of it into the stuffing of the tunic and also into the head. So this becomes the part that now helps the head stay in one position. And once you've done that, I'm gonna go to the big camera and we have a look what yours looks like and what mine looks like. So I've now got my Scarecrow. There he is. He's got a neck. He's got his legs in place. He has got his sort of tripod wire there that will help him stand up once he's got proper feet. It definitely does work. So trust it that it will work. You can also stick him in a plant pot or even in soil, because the wire is a little bit longer than the legs will be. It's quite a good combination of the legs and wire that you've got there. And the head is now also not swiveling around anymore because it's secured with the neck joint there. And the final thing that I will be doing today is to add the feet onto it. But I just want to have another look at some of the funny Scarecrow names. Emma says, my Scarecrow name is... Oh, no, I've done that already. Not so Scarecrow. But I do like that one. I do like that one. Dawn says... oh, no, I've read this 3 times now, Ostif. I still like that one too. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. That's... Maria says she loves Russell Scarecrow. Oh, I see. So Helen says her Scarecrow is not just called Marilyn. It's actually called Marilyn Monroe. You'd be pleased to know that I've heard of Marilyn Monroe. And now I know Marilyn Monroe. Oh, Maria says, Steffi, you're so entertaining. Yes, well, other people's stupidity is always entertaining. Oh, dear. Laura says, my Scarecrow is going to be Evictus Corvid. Evictus from evict and Corvid, as crows belong to the Corvid family. Oh, nice one. Apparently I missed half of the information that Emma told me. There's only so much I can take in while I'm talking. Jan says, I would call my Scarecrow Grumpy Gordon. Those crows better watch out. Oh, Diana says, I'm sitting in the garden with about 5 baby robins, being very brave and coming close to me. So I don't want any scary scarecrows here. Oh, it could be a robin-loving scarecrow. Now that is, yes. Oh, yes. So Alicia says, now that is true. Texas is much bigger and better. Ha ha. Seriously, we do brag about everything. Bless you. Vampire Venom says, I'm not smirking at the little bit of fluff when the front of the tunic was turned up. No, I'm not. I'm keeping this completely clean. This one time, I'm keeping this clean. Come on, guys. Don't tempt me now. And Emma says, scarecrows are supposed to be scruffy, so that's okay if bits stick out. Exactly, yes. The right kind of bits. Melanie says, I'm going to call my Scarecrow Carl the Chicken Whisperer. Sorry, that's making me giggle. Oh, we've got new people. Tukba. Oh, loves the makers. Thank you. Right, so let's move on to the feet in a minute, but I want to also just tell you what's coming up live stream wise for the next few times. And we have got coming up next live streams are, as you can see here. Sorry, I've just had a window pop up on my screen. I don't know how to make it go away. How do you go away? Anyway, you can see what's there. No, I don't want to see more news. Go away, news. What the heck? Okay, just bear with me. You can't see what I can see, but it's It's just as well because it's very annoying. Anyway, oh, it's gone now. Right, Scarecrow, part 3 next Tuesday. And then we're moving on to a new project, which is the large pumpkin over 2 live streams. It is going to be big. So if you want to know some tips and tricks on how to make large shapes, then this is a good one to watch. Get your 5 needle felting tool, your 3 needle felting tool, your 8 needle felting tool, anything multi needles at the ready. This is going to be some serious stabbing. And then the little witch is on the September the 21st. And if you haven't spotted her yet, she is here flying behind me, learning to master her broom, which when she's mastered it, she's going to move on to a bigger one because she's getting a bit too big for that small one. And I have been working the last 2 days on finishing off the tomte, and these are big. These are big tomte. It's going to be the funniest live stream yet. I'm telling you this now because there's nothing you can do to somehow overlook the fact that she's got 3 ginormous balls in the middle of her face and then 2 underneath. And this does look a little bit weird when you don't know yet what you're making. Also the fact that she is actually got a pebble stuffed up the center to weigh down. It's gonna be an absolutely awful live stream for me to take anything that's happening on there seriously. But of course she is beautiful, especially as there is a Mr. Tomte too, who by the way has also got a pebble stuffed up his nether regions. And the 2 of them are very happy together. They're totally in love, as you can tell, because they can't help but put their hats into a heart shape, and they're super cute and really fun to make, and I can't wait to teach you how to do these. So the packs for to get for our make along will be available at the beginning of September, so don't rush to the website now. They're not there yet, but you will know when they're available, I promise you. And the reason that they're weighted down is so that well, I just feel like it's a larger project. You don't have to weigh them down. You don't have to put anything up them. But it just gives them a really satisfying weight when you actually hold them. And so that is something to look forward to. We've also got some naughty elves, the Christmas elves that are coming out, and they are up to all kinds of mischief with each other. And I will try and remember to bring them back from the headquarter to the studio next time, so that I can show you those for real as well. Our Christmas kits are up on the website now, so some of our favorites and your favorites too, like the Christmas baubles to make robins, puddings, penguins and reindeers, is such a great pack because it makes 6 in total, 3 of each design. And they're really good to make, especially if you want to make a few leading up to Christmas to give away as gifts. We've also got our Christmas wool mixes back up. We've got our Robin picture kit. We have got the winter wreath. I've seen people making it. It's just really lovely to see that wreath coming to life again. It's also one of my favorites. So much going on. We're getting ready to go to shows, so there's lots of workshops happening at the shows. So I'm going to tell you now where we are, just so that you can maybe come and see us at any of those shows. We will be at the Creative Craft Show. So I've got a board up there so I can read it from where I'm sitting, from the 23rd to the 25th of September. So that's the first one that we're going to after the summer holidays. And I will be doing workshops there, namely the curly hedgehog, a small pumpkin, and a seal and a penguin. Very, very much looking forward to that one. And then we're going straight a week or so after, we're going to the Knitting and Stitching Show at Ali Pali in London. Definitely one of our favorite shows. Haven't been to London for ages. And there will be a new tomte that we're doing, which is a longer workshop, which is the candy striped tomte. We will be doing a small snowy owl and a curly hedgehog and a wren. This is the first outing for our wren. And then we're going to Glasgow the 14th to the 17th of October. And there I will be running workshops with with the Country Living show. So there's a different show altogether, but the Country Living magazine show. We are for the first time going to Glasgow on the 14th to the 17th of October, and I will be doing a mini wreath. This is the mini version of the winter wreath I was just talking about. Super cute and very easy to do and very addictive. Just be aware. The Robin Bauble, which I talked about, we've got yet another new tomte, the little tomte. It's a really quick and easy tomte to make with posable arms. And then we're also going to do a mini Santa, which is a tree hanging decoration. And then we're into November, and I will just say it very quickly. We're going to the NEC for the Creative Craft Show from the 4th to the 7th of November. Then this is all in 2021, in case you're watching this sometime in the future. And we're going to the Country Living magazine show in London, the 10th of the 14th of November. Then the Knitting and Stitching show in Harrogate, the 18th to the 21st of November. And then we're going to the Craft for Crafters at Shepton Mallet from the 25th to the 27th of November. And then we've got one more, and we're going back to Glasgow, and that is the Country Living show in Glasgow. I think the first one was the Creative Craft Show in Glasgow, 14th to 17th. Apologies, I got that muddled up. And on all of these shows, we have at least 3, if not 4 different types of workshops running. And we obviously rock up with everything on the stand, from the stand as well, with always special show offers as well. And then I should also just say that I am working really, really hard on the Advent project. It is going to be an amazing project. It's going to be a wall hanging, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's not dissimilar from the McHoggies last year, where every week you add a little bit more to the picture. On this occasion, you will actually not see what the finished picture will look like until you get to the last week, which is the exciting surprise bit. But have we ever disappointed you? You'll be absolutely loving this. And that's also available to purchase from the beginning of September. So our end of month newsletter is going to be full of exciting and new things. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter yet, I am appalled, but you can rectify all of that instantly by just going onto our website, and there is a link that it's obvious where you can sign up for the newsletter. So get onto our subscribers list, and we don't bombard you with newsletters. You will not see more than 2 or 3 from us a month. And okay, let's get back to the Scarecrow's feet, having given you a whole spiel of those shows. Oh, by the way, the Knitting and Stitching show, and of course the Creative Craft show in September, the tickets are now available, and you can buy them, and you can also buy the workshop tickets. And I'm telling you now, they do sell out quickly. So do go onto online and get your space booked now. Right, let's go back to the Scarecrow's feet. For this, we have got the brown wool. And now what we need to do is wrap the end of the wire with a little strand of the brown wool, similar to the legs. Just make sure you've got, or try and have the fibers running in one direction. And then start by wrapping the end of the wire. You know, you're already a pro by this. You can do this quite fast. And why am I saying whilst the glue is drying? Oh, I see. Yes, I'm actually saying add a generous amount of glue at the base of the wire where it comes out of the stuffing. This will secure it and stop the head from swiveling around. But actually, we've stopped it from swiveling around with the neck thing. But you can also add a lot of glue here into the Scarecrow. But I don't think it's necessary on this occasion, but you can still do that just for extra security. Going back to the legs, so wrap the end of the wire with the brown wool and then bend the very end in. And then you're going to keep wrapping and keep wrapping, and you're going to wrap up a little bit up the green leg as well. There. Turn the page. We're now on to page 5. And I'm going to put a little bit more on there just to build up a little bit more bulk. Now you can make the feet as big as you like, really. Oh, well, you've got a lot of wool there. Or you can keep them quite small. That's entirely up to you. But in any case, when you get to the point where you've built up a foot, ideally pointing in the direction the leg is pointing, there, then you can now build more onto that and felt it down as you go. So you can give him big boots, they can go higher up his leg, or you can keep the feet relatively small. That's entirely up to you. But you will have to felt it down at some point. So you can give him a nice boot shaft. If you had some green wool left, you could give him flared trousers. I've used it all. But if you had some left, you could give him flared trousers by putting the trouser leg over the boots. Mine has got the trousers tucked into the boots, and I'm just felting the boot down as I go, trying to make it flat underneath. And I'm gonna wait. I'm going to give the competition. We will do the competition in about 2-3 minutes when I've finished the second foot. So give you more chances to win this Scarecrow pack. So do keep the names coming, and then when I finish the second boot, Emma will announce the winner. Right. So the end is wrapped. Bend the pipe cleaner in so that the wool is trapped and you don't have a sharp pipe cleaner stick. It's not even pipe cleaner wire sticking out. Wrap the wool around the foot as best as you can. Use a little bit more. And I hope I didn't say that you're going to win a Scarecrow pack. You're going to win a butterfly pack, which I showed you earlier, and I will show you again. In fact, I'm going to do that now, just in case some of you have joined late. You're still in with a chance to win one of our large painting with wool butterfly packs. Comes with all the wool and full step-by-step color instructions. It also has got the piece of fabric in it that you will need as a base to needle felt onto, and it's definitely a large picture that you will be making. So I just show you again what you can win. It looks like this big pack, and Emma, you can pick the winner now. So hopefully you've all put your pennies worth in terms of funny Scarecrow names, because we're picking a winner now. Just going to finish off the foot. I've still got quite a lot of brown left, so you could make the foot a bit bigger. I've also got one leg slightly longer than the other, so I'm going to bend that foot in a bit more and work so I'm making by bending the foot in higher up the leg, I'm making the leg shorter, but I'm also making the foot longer, which means then on the other one I've got to make that foot longer as well. So that's just a little trick there. If you're adjusting something on one leg, you're very likely having to adjust something on the other leg as well. But that's probably the quickest way, especially as I've got spare brown left, to make the legs the same length. And so we now got a bald Scarecrow. So don't put him outside yet. He's going to get a cold head. But as of next week, we're going to attach the hair. We're going to make his scarf. And best of all, we're going to make little mice that are poking out his scruffy top. If you don't want to cut into the top, which is what I'm going to do, you could start thinking about giving your Scarecrow maybe sew on some pockets onto his posh top. I'm thinking about you, Maria, in particular, or anybody else who hasn't used Hessian or a fabric that you want to cut into. And maybe he can also have a mouse living in his hair. The one that is perched here behind me, he has got 3 mice living in him, and I show you it a little bit closer up so you can see what to expect from the next time. But I just want to finish off that foot, make sure. So Emma has just announced the winner to me, as will Hannah announce the winner on Thursday during the Facebook live stream. It will be a different person, and that's on the 26th of August 2021. But today's winner here on YouTube on the 24th of August 2021 is Julie G. So well done, Julie G. Do send us an email to info@themakers.co.uk, makers with 2 S's, remember that, and on there let us know that you've won, and then we will get to your details and we will post out the butterfly pack to you it will go out this week, no doubt. For anybody else who is still here now with me. Remember that we've got a winter retreat coming up. I just show that very quickly because it is something worth to look forward to, especially if you're maybe always stuck for a Christmas present for yourself and you get asked, what can I get you for Christmas, Mum, or whatever, and you'll just say, oh, I want to go on that winter retreat with the makers. And then you've got something to look forward to. Everybody's happy because they've bought you something very special. You are happy because you're going to go away with us at the end of January. You've got something to look forward to after Christmas. And so yeah, so it's a really good time to put those wishes forward now. Get in touch with us, info@themakers with 2ss.co.uk if you want to find out more. And what was I? Oh yes, there's the big there's one big pumpkin. It's going to be about that size, maybe even a little bit bigger. We're using the whole of the pumpkin pack to make the big pumpkin. So you've got time to get your pumpkin pack, not for next week, but for the week after and the week after. Lots of white wool in there. It's one of our best-selling packs during this time of the year. And of course, you can make little ones like the ones behind me. And then I should also say, but I haven't got a sample with me. If you're around at 11 a.m. this week, Thursday, the 26th of August, pop onto Facebook, onto the Facebook page called the Virtual Village Hall. And I will be there. I will be there. Well, I will be live on there at 11 o'clock, and we're going to make little birds strung up from our exotic wool mix, which is very exciting. And there's the Scarecrow. He needs his hair and his hat. And I promised I would show you the little mice. There you go. Have a look at the little mice poking out as a last thing. He's got 1, 2, 3 little mices there, and it's going to be so much fun making them. But for now, he's waiting for his hair and having a little chat with his twin. So hopefully you enjoyed all of that. I am very grateful for all of your thumbs up and for your subscriptions. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's try that on our YouTube channel. So do tell all your friends, tell anybody who you meet on the road. Just tell them, have you heard of the makers? You must subscribe for the YouTube channel. And maybe next time we'll hear you funny stories of how you persuaded somebody to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be definitely funny. Right, I love you and leave you, and I will see you next week. Bye.